My child, what I speak now is not meant to stir fear, fantasy, or dependency. It is meant to bring clarity. There is someone who thinks about you far more than you realize. Their attention is intense, persistent, and emotionally charged. But understand this carefully: this is not obsession in a dangerous or controlling sense, and it is not something you are responsible for. It is unresolved attachment. Their feelings are strong because something within them was awakened by you, something they did not expect and do not know how to place. You became a mirror, not an intention. And that is why their emotions feel complicated, conflicted, and restrained. This love feels forbidden not because of fate or punishment, but because of two very real reasons that must be understood clearly. Reason 1: timing and circumstance. This person is bound by circumstances they did not resolve before encountering you. Responsibilities, commitments, or inner conflicts already existed in their life. When they met you, instead of clarity, those unresolved parts were exposed. Their feelings for you clash with the structure of their current reality. This does not make them dishonest, it makes them conflicted. And conflict creates intensity when it is not addressed. That intensity can feel like obsession, but it is actually confusion mixed with longing. Reason 2: emotional readiness. This person is not fully prepared to love in a grounded, healthy way right now. They are drawn to your presence because you represent something stable, honest, or emotionally awake that they have not yet embodied themselves. You remind them of what they are not yet ready to become. This is why their feelings remain mostly internal. They watch, think, imagine, but hesitate. Not because they don't feel enough, but because they feel too much without the maturity to act responsibly. Hear this clearly, my child. You are not meant to fix this. You are not meant to encourage this. You are not meant to carry the weight of their feelings. Awareness is your protection. Their emotions are theirs to understand and resolve. Your role is not to step into secrecy, guilt, or emotional ambiguity. True connection never requires hiding, confusion, or self-denial. This message is not a warning. It is discernment. Stay grounded. Stay honest. Stay aligned with what brings peace, not intensity. If this connection ever moves forward, it must do so in clarity and respect, not in silence or emotional tension. And if it does not move forward, that is not loss, it is protection. Nothing meant for you will require you to betray your own peace to receive it. Listen calmly. Observe without attachment. And trust that what is truly aligned will arrive without needing to be forbidden. This is not about resisting love. It is about choosing wisdom. My child, now hear this part gently, because it centers on your role, and your role is simpler than you may think. You are not meant to respond to this energy. You are not meant to decode their feelings. You are not meant to wait for clarity on their behalf. The intensity you sense around you does not require participation to exist. It exists because something unresolved inside them has been activated. That does not automatically create a path for connection, it creates a moment of awareness. And awareness is where you remain. You may notice signs that feel subtle: lingering attention, emotional shifts when you are present, distance mixed with pull, silence that carries meaning. These signs are not invitations. They are indicators of inner conflict on their side, not direction for you. This is important. Being desired does not mean being chosen. Being thought about does not mean being ready. Being emotionally pulled toward does not mean alignment exists. Love that is healthy does not live in restraint, secrecy, or hesitation. It lives in clarity, timing, and shared responsibility. If this person were truly ready, you would not need discernment, you would have certainty. So do not interpret their intensity as destiny. Do not romanticize their inner struggle. Do not confuse emotional tension with connection. Your peace is the compass here. You are allowed to remain open without leaning in. You are allowed to be kind without engaging emotionally. You are allowed to continue your life without waiting for resolution that is not yours to create. This message is not asking you to shut your heart. It is reminding you to keep your footing. What is meant for you will not feel forbidden. It will not require restraint to survive. It will not live in silence. Remain observant, not involved. Grounded, not pulled. Aware, not responsible. When love is right, it arrives whole. Until then, wisdom is the love you give yourself. This is how you stay aligned, not by resisting feeling, but by choosing clarity over intensity. My child, now let us bring calm understanding to the intensity you feel. Some connections feel powerful not because they are meant to begin, but because they are meant to reveal. This one reveals contrast, between emotional longing and emotional readiness, between desire and responsibility, between imagination and reality. That contrast creates tension. This person feels drawn to you because you embody something they lack clarity about within themselves. You represent possibility, truth, or emotional depth that they have not yet integrated into their own life. Being near you, or even thinking about you, forces them to confront choices they have been postponing. This is why the connection feels alive but unmoving. Their feelings grow internally, but they do not translate into healthy action. Not because you are doing something wrong, and not because something is being hidden from you, but because inner conflict cannot move forward cleanly. And here is what you must understand clearly. Intensity without action is not alignment. Emotion without accountability is not love. Attraction without clarity is not a path. This does not make the feeling meaningless. It makes it incomplete. You may feel moments of emotional recognition, like being seen without being approached. This can be confusing. But recognition alone does not build a relationship. Mutual readiness does. Your role is not to wait for them to resolve their life. Your role is not to soften your standards to accommodate their confusion. Your role is not to carry emotional tension in silence. You are meant to remain whole where you are. If this connection ever becomes real, it will shift from inner struggle to outward clarity. You will not have to interpret signs. You will not have to protect yourself from uncertainty. You will not feel divided. Until then, the stillness is the message. And the stillness is protective. Stay present in your life. Stay open to what meets you clearly. Stay anchored in peace, not potential. What is truly meant for you will not stay trapped in longing. It will arrive ready. This is not a loss. It is discernment guiding you gently forward. My child, this part is important, not to restrict you, but to protect your clarity. When you sense someone's unspoken intensity, the natural impulse is to fill the silence. To wonder, to imagine, to explain their feelings for them, or to subtly adjust your behavior to ease the tension. This is where many lose their grounding. Do not do this. Do not lean in to test their feelings. Do not withdraw in hopes they will chase. Do not carry emotional responsibility that was never offered openly. None of these bring truth. They only deepen confusion. Understand this clearly. If someone cannot meet you in honesty, they are not asking for connection, they are asking for containment. And containment slowly drains your peace. You are not meant to become a secret. You are not meant to live in emotional ambiguity. You are not meant to hold space for feelings that have no direction. Silence from them is not a puzzle for you to solve. Distance from them is not a challenge for you to overcome. Their struggle is not a sign that you should wait. Your steadiness is the boundary. By staying grounded, by not reacting, not compensating, not imagining futures, you allow truth to surface naturally. Either they grow into clarity, or the attachment loosens on its own. Both outcomes protect you. This is how discernment works. You do nothing extra. You remain yourself. You let behavior, not energy, show you what is real. If someone is meant to love you, they will step forward with integrity. If they cannot, then distance is not rejection, it is alignment correcting itself. Remain kind. Remain calm. Remain unavailable to confusion. This is not you closing your heart. This is you refusing to confuse intensity with love. And that choice, quiet, firm, and self-honoring, keeps your path clear for what can truly meet you openly. My child, now comes the deeper purpose of this experience, because not every strong feeling is meant to turn into a story. Some are meant to refine your awareness. This situation is showing you how far you have come. There was a time when intensity might have pulled you in, when mystery felt exciting, when emotional uncertainty felt like depth. Now, you can sense the difference between emotional charge and emotional availability. That difference is wisdom. This connection is teaching you to value clarity over curiosity, consistency over longing, peace over potential. You are learning that love does not arrive as tension that must be managed. It arrives as openness that can be shared. And here is the quiet truth: this person's fixation does not elevate you, and it does not diminish you. It simply reflects where they are on their path, not where you must go on yours. You are not here to be desired from a distance. You are here to be met fully. So take this moment as confirmation, not confusion. Confirmation that your standards are clearer. Confirmation that your nervous system no longer mistakes uncertainty for connection. Confirmation that you are no longer available for half-formed love. You do not need to reject this person harshly. You do not need to confront them. You do not need to explain yourself. Your alignment will speak for you. When you continue living from truth and steadiness, what is unresolved around you either rises to clarity, or fades. That is not loss. That is discernment doing its work. Let this lesson settle gently. Let gratitude replace curiosity. Let peace replace anticipation. This experience was not meant to bind you. It was meant to show you what you will no longer settle for. And that is growth. Remain open to love that arrives whole. Remain unavailable to love that hides. This is how wisdom protects the heart, without closing it. My child, now understand this clearly so your heart remains light. This situation does not end with confrontation, exposure, or emotional collapse. It ends the way most misaligned connections do, quietly. Not because something failed, but because clarity removes the fuel that kept it alive. When you stop feeding uncertainty with attention, imagination, or emotional availability, intensity has nowhere to rest. What is unresolved either transforms through responsibility, or dissolves through distance. And you do not have to do anything for this to happen. You do not need to pull away abruptly. You do not need to change who you are. You do not need to harden your heart. Your consistency is enough. As you continue living grounded, present, and self-honoring, one of two things will occur. They will confront their reality and step forward with honesty and accountability. Or they will slowly detach as the fantasy loses power. Both outcomes are resolution. Both outcomes protect you. This is important. If someone's feelings fade when clarity is required, they were never love, they were projection. And projection cannot survive truth. You are not losing something meaningful. You are avoiding carrying something incomplete. Real love does not hover. Real love does not hide. Real love does not require restraint to exist. It arrives ready. So let this end without labels. Without explanation. Without emotional residue. You move forward clean, not because you suppressed feeling, but because you honored yourself enough not to build on uncertainty. This is not detachment. This is emotional intelligence. You remain open. You remain kind. You remain aligned. And because of that, what comes next in your life will not arrive as a question, it will arrive as a clear answer. That is how discernment closes a chapter, softly, fully, and without regret. My child, now look ahead, not with anticipation, but with calm assurance. When a connection rooted in intensity rather than clarity releases its hold, space opens. Not emptiness, space. And space is where alignment enters without resistance. You may notice something subtle soon after. Your energy feels lighter. Your thoughts are less occupied. Your emotions feel steady instead of alert. Your attention returns fully to your own life. This is not loss. This is relief recognizing itself. When you are no longer unconsciously responding to someone else's unresolved emotions, your inner world becomes available again, for joy, for presence, for genuine connection that does not require interpretation. And here is the important truth: what comes next will not confuse you. Whether it is a person, an opportunity, or a new phase of growth, it will meet you openly. You will not need to guess intentions. You will not feel hidden or restricted. You will not feel like you must manage someone else's inner conflict. You will feel chosen clearly. This experience sharpened your discernment. It showed you how to stay kind without being pulled, open without being entangled, aware without being responsible. These are skills that protect your future happiness. You did not close your heart. You refined it. So let this chapter fade naturally. Do not revisit it. Do not wonder, what if? Do not assign meaning beyond the lesson already received. The lesson is complete. You are aligned with love that arrives honestly. You are unavailable to love that hides. You are ready for connection that stands in the open. Remain where you are, present, steady, self-led. What belongs to you will not feel forbidden. It will feel right. And it will come without needing to be explained. My child, now comes the final refinement, learning how to move forward without revisiting what has already released. There is a temptation, after intensity fades, to look back and wonder if it meant more than it did. To question whether silence was a missed opportunity. To imagine an alternate outcome. This is natural, but it is not necessary. Clarity has already answered the question. When something is truly aligned, it does not require reinterpretation after it ends. It does not leave you replaying moments or searching for meaning. It leaves you calm. And calm is confirmation. You are allowed to remember without reopening. You are allowed to understand without returning. You are allowed to appreciate the lesson without reliving the tension. This is emotional maturity. From here, you stay open, but not available to confusion. You let people meet you where you are, not where they wish you would wait. You listen to actions more than emotions. You trust steadiness more than sparks. This does not make you cautious. It makes you clear. And clarity attracts what can stand beside it. As you move forward, notice how different it feels when something is right. There is no secrecy. No internal debate. No waiting for courage. No emotional guessing. There is presence. There is consistency. There is choice. This is what you are aligned with now. So do not carry this story with you. Do not keep it as a reference. Let it remain what it was, a moment that sharpened your discernment, not a chapter meant to continue. Your path is open. Your heart is intact. Your peace is guiding you well. What meets you next will not ask you to interpret. It will simply arrive, and you will recognize it by how little effort it takes to stay yourself. This is how wisdom completes its work, by leaving you free, not attached. My child, this is the quiet moment when you notice something important has changed. You think of this person, and there is no pull. No curiosity. No emotional charge. Only neutrality. This is how you know the lesson has fully settled. Not because you forced yourself to move on, but because there is nothing left inside you that needs resolution. You are no longer wondering what they feel. You are no longer sensing their energy. You are no longer checking for meaning. Their inner world has returned to them. Your inner world has returned to you. This is completion. When something truly ends in alignment, it does not leave residue. It does not create cynicism. It does not harden your heart. It simply becomes irrelevant to your present self. And this is the confirmation: you did not lose anything by choosing clarity. You protected something far more valuable, your peace. Now, your attention rests where it belongs, on your life, your choices, your direction. You invest where there is reciprocity. You respond where there is presence. You give where there is openness. This is not emotional detachment. This is emotional sovereignty. From this place, you no longer attract confusion. You no longer hold space for hidden longing. You no longer participate in stories that live only in imagination. You are available for reality. And reality meets you differently now. Stay here. Do not look back. Do not measure this against anything else. You are not closing a door. You are walking forward without carrying what was never meant to follow you. This is how discernment completes its work, not with answers, but with peace that does not ask questions anymore. My child, now you see what truly remains when intensity, curiosity, and emotional noise have all dissolved. Nothing dramatic. Nothing missing. Nothing unresolved. Only steadiness. This is important to recognize, because many people mistake calm for emptiness and return to confusion just to feel something again. You will not do that, because you now know the difference between stimulation and connection. What remains in you is capacity. Capacity to love without losing yourself. Capacity to connect without hiding. Capacity to choose without hesitation. Your heart is not closed, it is clear. And a clear heart does not attach to what cannot meet it fully. From this place, you no longer replay endings. You do not need to assign meaning or extract lessons again. The lesson has already integrated itself into how you live. You simply move on. And moving on does not mean forgetting. It means no longer being shaped by what passed. You are not guarded. You are not hardened. You are simply unavailable to confusion. This is how wisdom shows itself, not through grand realizations, but through what no longer pulls your attention. Now, when something enters your life, you will feel the difference immediately. It will not compete with your peace. It will not require restraint. It will not live in uncertainty. It will stand openly in front of you. And if it does not, you will not linger. Not out of fear, but out of respect for yourself. This is where you are now. Nothing ended tragically. Nothing was taken. Nothing slipped away. You simply outgrew what could not meet you in truth. And that is not loss. That is alignment continuing its work, quietly, cleanly, and without regret. My child, this is where you recognize the deepest change of all. Peace is no longer something you return to, it is what you operate from. You do not check your emotional state before engaging with life. You do not scan for hidden meaning. You do not brace for emotional disruption. You move freely. This is the moment when you realize that the situation did not take anything from you, it gave you clarity that will now guide every connection that follows. You trust yourself. You trust your pace. You trust what feels clean and what does not. And because of that trust, you no longer feel pulled toward what once created tension. You do not need distance to feel safe. You do not need answers to feel settled. You do not need closure to feel complete. This is emotional independence. You are present in your conversations. You are relaxed in your silence. You are honest without overexposing. Nothing inside you is waiting to be chosen. From here forward, you will notice something powerful. You attract what is available. You repel what is conflicted. You remain untouched by what is hidden. This is not effort. This is alignment expressing itself naturally. You have not become less emotional. You have become less entangled. And that difference changes everything. Let this be the final settling. Let this be the quiet confirmation. Let this be enough. You are not moving away from love. You are moving toward the kind that does not require restraint, secrecy, or interpretation. Remain where you are. Clear, grounded, and fully yourself. This is how a chapter ends when it was never meant to continue, not with sadness, not with longing, but with peace that feels right to keep. My child, this is the final understanding, and it is gentle. When peace becomes your default, something important happens. Your life no longer has gaps that intensity can sneak into. There is no emotional vacancy asking to be filled. There is no unresolved hunger looking for meaning. You are full, not closed, not guarded, complete. This is the space where real love can finally enter, if and when it comes. Not rushed. Not dramatic. Not forbidden. But open, mutual, and clear. You will recognize it easily, because it will feel different from everything before. It will not make you question yourself. It will not live in secrecy. It will not depend on circumstances being just right. It will not pull you away from your center. It will add to your life, not complicate it. And if nothing arrives immediately, you will not feel restless. You will not feel behind. You will not feel like you missed something. You are no longer measuring your worth by connection, you are sharing connection from worth already established. This is readiness without need. You are not waiting. You are living. From here on, you choose from alignment, not attraction. You respond to presence, not potential. You give your time to what stands in front of you honestly. Nothing forbidden tempts you anymore. Nothing hidden intrigues you. Nothing unresolved pulls you back. The chapter has not only ended, it has dissolved, leaving no trace behind. Remain open. Remain steady. Remain yourself. What belongs to you will never require restraint to exist. It will arrive freely, or not at all. And either way, you are at peace. This is where discernment completes its work, by leaving you whole, grounded, and ready for whatever truth chooses to meet you next. My child, there is nothing more you need to understand now, only something to notice. You no longer look for signs. You no longer replay moments. You no longer wonder what this meant or what could have been. And that absence of questioning is the confirmation. When something is aligned, it does not demand interpretation. It does not leave emotional residue. It does not echo in your thoughts asking to be resolved. It simply passes, or it stays, with clarity. This is how you know you are no longer entangled. Your mind is spacious, your heart is calm, your energy is your own. You do not feel proud of this growth. You do not announce it. You do not explain it. You live it.